So hello everyone. We have already about 30 participants. So let's wait one more minute to see if some more people will join us. Our topic of today is rapid upskilling, the secret sauce for success in the project economy. Yeah. And now we can start. So my name is Aristides Matsokis. I am from, let's say, I'm based in Zurich. I am a member of PMI Switzerland and volunteer in the events team. So let's move on to our welcome picture. So normally we are used to arrange events in the area of Zurich here in Switzerland. But now with the coronavirus, we have turned a bit more international. So we try to collect here all the ways to say welcome. So in case you don't see your language, please drop us a mail afterwards. So we try to enhance this view for the future. So let's move to the ground rules. So during all the session, you will be muted, and this session will be recorded, and make sure you're using the latest Zoom version. There will be a poll during the session where you're kindly requested to take part, and there is also a small menu on the bottom of your page with a Q&A. So there you can already start posting your questions, and by the end of the session, hopefully we can answer all the questions. All answers, the video, and the slides will be sent to you after the event. So let's move to our poll. So please tell us from which part of the world you are tuning from. So as long as you start replying, all the results will be coming here in the list. So tell us if you're coming from Switzerland, any other European country, North America, Central South America, Asia Pacific, or Africa. Yeah, I guess the poll should show should show the results, right? It seems that the poll is not showing the results right now. Okay. I think we will relaunch the okay, very good. So we relaunched the poll. It seems to have been some problem. So we have many persons from Switzerland, okay, something we expect, and some from other European countries. Very good. And then sometimes we get also from North America and South America. Super. So it's very good that you guys found the time to join us today, although you come from far, far away. And yeah, let's see. Let's move on to PMI Switzerland overview. So we are 26 volunteers in Switzerland. We dedicated more than 200 hours to arrange our strategy. we normally organize events on site around the country. So in 2019, we had 27 events with more than 1,000 participants. We also had 2 PMI master classes and 1 project management conference. And of course, we manage that with the help of volunteers, but also with the help from our sponsors. And PwC is one of our greatest sponsors in the country. So let's move to our social media footprint. So everything turned virtual recently with the coronavirus situation. So most likely you get to know about our event either from our webpage or from LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook. And in our YouTube channel in YouTube, you can find most of our events, which are getting published there. So let's move on to today's speakers. So I don't take more of your time. So we have Marc and Adrian from PwC, 2 very experienced speakers. I believe they are for 3rd year with us. And now I will pass the floor to Marc. Enjoy the discussion.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Aristides, for the introduction. And it's great to see so many people joining on a late evening. It's already dark in Switzerland, and it's good to have no people from the US or from Asia, because that should be very early or very late. So it's good to really focus on Europe this time. So first of all, a big thank you for joining that session, Rapid Upskilling, the Secret Sauce for Success across the economy. And as well, a big thank you to the PMI Switzerland chapter to be part of this virtual event. And as well, a big thank you to the PMI event team to make this event happen. And furthermore, it's a pleasure to hold this session jointly with Adrian Stierley, who will take over later. So today, we will look at how digital disruption has essentially enabled the project economy. We will be examining 8 emerging technologies that affect our ways of working as project managers. We also will be looking ahead to 4 scenarios for work in the project economy, the importance of these scenarios for upskilling initiatives, and how the PMI's project management technology quotient will help both you as a project manager and your organization succeed in these project economy worlds. So we have structured our presentation today into the following. We will start to look into the term of the project economy, because that's like a buzzword coming all over the world. What is the project economy? After that, we will look into specific digital technologies which are shaping the project economy. And we will ending up with the upskilling initiative, how yourself could be upskilled to really stay relevant in the project economy. And as I said, Adrian will join me and will take over later. So what is the project economy? A term we heard of a lot, and at least since the Global PMI conference in Philadelphia last year, or at the annual meeting which we had here in Zurich beginning of this year. So, but what is exactly project economy? So, as you all know, as a project manager, I hope everyone knows who's dialing in here today. A project can be defined as a temporary and unique. It's a planned activity which has a beginning and an end, and it's outside an organization's routine operations. And it is designed to achieve a certain goal. So a project can therefore take a variety of forms, like a trip around the world, development of a new project, the implementation of an IT systems in a multinational company, or the construction of a building, a bridge, the various items and forms of a project. By completing projects successfully, and that's our aim, companies can deliver both financial and societal value to their stakeholders. And this concept could even be seen as a paradigm shift, results in a workforce that is continuously working in a project setting. That is led by people like you with varying industry backgrounds, skills, seniority, and geographic reach. It is a world in which project management professionals drive change, innovation, and results. This is also called projectization or the project economy. According to the PMI, this project economy is a world in which people have the skills and capabilities to turn ideas into reality. The focus is on integrating strategy design and delivery with the aim of successfully implementing projects. To achieve this, a variety of approaches can be used to execute projects with a fast, flexible, skilled, and future-focused teams. So in that world, businesses will need to make transformations as radical as technologies impacting their environment and industries. Next generation employees aspire to challenging and appealing projects, which help them to familiarize themselves with disruptive technologies and gain the necessary knowledge, experience, and skills to work with them. Both pervasive and relentless, current technological changes are putting pressure on organizations and industries to keep up with the future of work. And to survive, they will need to be able to operate successfully within the project economy. And according to the PMI, 3 attributes are crucial to success in this economy. Number 1, it's permission to be agile. Second, the ability to bridge the gap between strategy design and delivery. And thirdly, commitment to professional development, both for technical skills and soft skills, like having an innovative mindset, collaborative leadership, and data-driven decisions. So where's that radical change coming from? Why you need to change? So technology breakthroughs and shifts in global economic and political power are driving continuous change in sectors, organizations, and workforces of all sizes throughout the global economy. And you can see it all the day on the newspapers. There is always coming in change, as radical as possible. And most radical has been the scope, breadth, and speed of change brought about by new digital technologies, such as artificial intelligence, augmented reality, blockchain, Internet of Things, 3D printing, or virtual reality, robotics, and drones. So we at PwC call these technologies the essential 8. So what is the essential 8? I want to quickly guide you through those with the lens of a project manager. And I will start on the top left on artificial intelligence. So AI enhanced project management tools, for example, they can make sure nothing gets overlooked and save employees your time by effectively managing schedules and follow-ups. In addition, AI can perform complex analytic tasks, observing project flows and using current and historic data to make predictions about the future. Or augmented reality can be of value to project managers in different phases of a project, especially in environments where rapid and accurate decisions are important, like constructions. Project managers and contractors can get a preview of more difficult aspects of the construction, including the complexity of the different layers of an installation and materials through AR glasses. Blockchain can be used by you as a project manager as well, especially for the automation of record keeping, reconciliations, and basic coordination tasks, enabling new efficiencies and saving both time and money. Drones, another technology that can be leveraged by PMs. For example, the military, the logistics, food and beverage, to ensure timely product delivery within budget and quality. The Internet of Things can significantly reduce the time it takes for execution projects by including communication devices between humans and technology. Robotics, that has multiple benefits for project managers and has already been implemented by some industries. Think out of the consumer goods sector or the automotive, which is very ahead, that has adopted robotics a long time ago, automating production for fast and low cost product delivery. Virtual reality can be used in different phases of a project. Think, for example, of remote training, where participants are in different geographical locations, but need to train with a heavy visual stimulations. Or 3D printing, lastly, as the ability to make a printing model prototype for which experts, engineers, and PMs can analyze the miniature design and adapt it into on a small scale at low cost. So these essential 8 technologies, they will continue to disrupt and transform organizations, your organizations, and in many industries. And they're prompting them to initiate projects to enable them adapt to disruptive change and stay relevant in the marketplace of the future. So you will need those technologies to stay relevant in the future, you and as well your organization. So the essential 8 are not the end of the story, nor are they the only thing that project managers need to know about. So they are merely the latest technologies that are ripe for implementation in the project economy. So the next wave of disruptive technologies might be just around the corner and could include like 5G technology, quantum computing, or human augmentation. So it's not ending, it's elaborating. So we envision that these new technologies not only present new tools to work with, but they also bring new opportunities to improve project delivery across industries. But they need new skills that are highly sought after, and they need a new mindset to work within that change. The project economy will require project workers to be permanently curious and willing to learn, adapt rapidly, work together to solve problems, and shape the talent pool in a sustainable and agile way. So, however, the economy and our working world continue to evolve. In our PwC Workforce of the Future report, launched 3 years ago, our experts predicted 4 different worlds in which project managers would take on different responsibilities. As the project economy as a whole will also shift into these different worlds, project managers, you, will need a diverse set of skills to cover all of those 4 environments. These worlds may exist in different parts of the globe rather than in just one region. To some extent, for sure, they already exist. The 4 worlds fall into a matrix depending on the attributes. So like collectivism versus individualism and integration versus fragmentation. Fragmentation can, for example, represent the very lively startup scenes around the world. Smaller players that focus on one product or a niche to build their business. On the other hand, integration that plays directly into the big corporate's agenda for growth beyond measure. On the other side, collectivism that takes shape, but the common good comes before the individual, be that an organization or a project. Individualization focuses on what the individual wants. Under this force, products are super individualized. So from these attributes, 4 worlds are derived. The yellow world, where humans come first. The red world, where innovation rules. The green world, where companies care. And the blue world, where corporate is king. Within these 4 worlds, you as a project manager will have different responsibilities. And your responsibilities will differ from the yellow and green world, where fairness and equality dominates, to the red and blue world, where me first rules the world. So for us, it is clear that the project economy evolves into these different worlds as well. They all can be true at the same time in different parts of the world, or even within the same. To some extent, they already exist in the present. So Adrian will now explain the 4 worlds in more detail and with examples, and will show you the secret sauce of rapid upscaling to stay relevant in these worlds.
Thank you, Marc. So I want to start with the yellow world. In the yellow project world, social first and community businesses thrive. and meaning and relevance in terms of social issues are predominant. Organizations and projects that can clearly formulate their purpose, and I don't mean we want to be number one in XYZ or be the best at doing ABC, and focus on their actual total societal impact, they will ensure that the right people choose to work for them. Simon Sinek says that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And this is especially key in the yellow world. Your purpose is why people buy a product or also contribute their best work to your projects. Empathy and humility will go a long way under these constructs. And it will be the job of project managers and leaders to convey the purpose of their projects to their key staff. Keeping technology and the essential aid as the current change driver in mind, organizations and project managers need to make sure that technology should also have a positive impact in the yellow world. Within the red world, innovation is key for business success and industry growth. There is a race by organizations and individuals to satisfy customer needs. In this world, innovation clearly outpaces regulation. Think back to the 3D printing example that Marc explained before. If you think of the medical sector, we see clear examples where innovation just outpaces regulation. Or think of the blockchain technology and the cryptocurrency space. Everywhere we see the regulators struggling to keep pace with the advances in technology. Nevertheless, new digital ecosystems give winning platforms room to thrive and grow. Built on faster processes, partner models, and data centralization, digital ecosystems reshape traditional industries. There are so many new initiatives that there aren't enough project managers to drive all the change. Startups and corporate innovation hubs, they need project management skills, and project managers that are able to select the right technologies, but also focus on upskilling and mentor others will be the most successful in the red world. The green world drives social responsibility and trust within corporate agendas. Demographic changes, climate change, and sustainability are key drivers of business. And businesses that adopt a long-term view on results and incorporate sustainability create better results for all stakeholders. BlackRock, the investment giant, for example, has made sustainability its new standard for investing, since its analysis showed that over 90% of sustainable indices outperformed parent benchmarks. In the green world, many new technologies will be implemented to automate work, as we see today. And things like the sharing economy, for example, car sharing, will be expanded for a lower negative environmental impact. For humans not to be left behind in the process, large sums of money will need to be invested in upskilling employees. Here again, project managers will take on the role of mentoring their staff and showing that their projects and initiatives are authentic, substantive, and genuine. In the blue world, big company capitalism rules, and large corporations are more influential and powerful than nation states. The nature of work is transformed by changing practices and an aging workforce. As a result, only a small group of employees have actually permanent roles, collaborating with interim teams. And the employees will want to work flexibly. Therefore, interdisciplinary strategies are needed to facilitate efficient and successful work. In the blue world, project managers will most likely no longer be employed on permanent contracts. Instead, they will just be hired for missions or projects. And all project managers, or all project workers even, need to further enhance their skills and get micro-certified to remain competitive in this increasingly competitive market. Nevertheless, Rapid change will be difficult within these large organizations, but constant change will still be necessary to fight off smaller market entrants. Now that I have talked about these four evolutions, these four worlds in the project economy, we want to paint the picture of how you can upskill yourself, giving yourself the flexibility and ability to deliver your personal best in all these worlds. As we heard before, thanks to rapidly evolving technology, such as the Essential 8, the world is changing more quickly and more disruptively than ever before. This impacts both organizations and project managers, requiring them to explore new ways of successfully operating and bringing value in the four project economy worlds. Getting back at the question we asked in the beginning, what is the secret sauce to stay relevant in these four worlds in the project economy when individual tasks are taken over by robotics, by AI, and the classic job of the project manager is constantly being redefined and recategorized? We try to come up with a simple answer. And it's very important. We believe that project managers and project workers in general are already in the best position to be their very best in these new worlds. We propose that project managers follow a simple framework of explore, adapt, and apply. Starting with explore. So these constant changes, they redefine the role of project managers. They have new responsibilities and they need a diverse set of skills. One crucial component of this is for project managers to acquire a technology quotient. As explained in the beginning, this represents a person's capacity to adapt to the constant whirl of change brought on by advances in technology. PMI calls this TQ in the project economy PMTQ, so project management technology quotient. However, just developing on the technical side by itself won't be sufficient for people to succeed. Soft skills or power skills are just as important. The disruptive changes and new working worlds require project managers to empathize with your workers. Human power skills like communication, adaptability, and leadership are key to successful projects. We therefore believe that project managers will need these power skills to successfully lead their employees and organizations through these four project worlds. Project workers all need to adapt rapidly and be willing and curious to learn. Especially knowledge beyond our own industry is needed, and the collaboration is so crucial to shape a sustainable and agile talent pool. That was explore. Another clear ingredient of the secret sauce is the adaptability. This is essential for navigating the changes ahead. It's impossible to predict exactly the skills that will be needed in the future. That means that we all need to identify from the explore stage learning opportunities for ourselves with regard to new business models, emerging technologies, and the four project worlds that are driving change currently and in the near future. It's up to each individual to take away what's necessary for them to continue succeeding in the world that they're operating in. There are, however, of course, upskilling initiatives that can be taken up with the pace of change. Think of online platforms such as Udacity, edX, or Coursera that offer wide ranges of courses from artificial intelligence to blockchain, but also on broader learning offerings such as music, philosophy, or history. Some companies also offer dedicated learnings for their employees to upskill. PwC, for example, has set up a global program called Your Tomorrow to train all employees on basic data analytics and with applying tools such as Power BI or Alteryx for workflow optimization. This has also brought along the necessary mind shift within our organization. Everyone is not only responsible, but also has the necessary tools to improve their work and the repetitive and routine tasks at work. And finally, both project managers and organizations need to make sure that the new knowledge acquired during the adapt phase can be applied to projects quickly. This way, organizations can find their way in the 4 project worlds and the constant change that affects their industries. As I said before, we strongly believe that project managers are uniquely positioned in this new world and can act as the change agents, transforming organizations to fit into the project economy. None of us can know with any certainty what things will look like in the next 10, 20, or 30 years. But it is very likely that facets of these 4 worlds will feature in some way and at some time. The organizations and individuals that understand the potential futures and what each means for them and plan ahead will be the best prepared to succeed in the project economy. So I'm closing with a question. Are you ready to invest in your project future? Thank you. I see that we have a first question. Second. And the question was why the essential 8 are called essential if they are continuously going to be replaced by other essential things. I can start. Maybe Marc, you want to add something afterwards. I think the key point here is that the essential 8 are currently the technologies that are driving change within our community, within our organizations, within our projects, even, as we said. But I don't think it's a continuous replacement by other essential things. However, there might be something new coming across the corner, and there could be something that we need to keep on the lookout. Marc?
Yeah, if it comes to the essential, the wording, and I guess that's point in time. Essential now means you need an understanding about those technologies to really get them done, and as well to implement them in your organization and as well on your daily work. So without those technologies, no change will come in. And as I had said in the beginning, you need to change, and as well your organization has to change to stay relevant. But therefore, it's essential to get a clear understanding about the functioning of those technologies, about the purpose of those technologies, and as well about the barriers and restrictions of those technologies to really bring them to the right point and to the right size into your organization and into your way of work.
Thank you. We have another question on the readiness to do so, to basically my question in the end, if you are ready to invest in your project future. And the question is if we mean if you're ready to invest in some certification, and if so, what certification would be the best investment? It's a it's certainly a good question. I'm thinking that's the kind of the point of the wheel that we presented with the explore, adapt, apply. I cannot give you a clear example of which certification would be the best for you or would be the best investment. There, it really depends on which industry you're in, but I think always something that's broadening your horizon, and also that's something where your organization is currently developing into, or where your organization is working on. I can just give a short personal example for that, maybe. Earlier this year, in the first, let's say, in the lockdown back in April, March, I had a bit of spare time at my hand, I would say, and I knew that I was already interested. And at PwC, some of you know, we have already had a few presentations around artificial intelligence in project management. And I was wondering, or I was thinking of pursuing some kind of micro or nano certification in this space in order to help the teams that are currently working on the solutions, or working on solutions that might also benefit some of our clients, with the development, not from a technical point of view, but more from a let's say a process point of view. How do you develop, or how to develop a product in an artificial intelligence product? So I pursued a nano degree in AI product management from Udacity, that was, and it really helped me understanding kind of which processes go into developing, in training a model. How do you assess whether a model is actually fit for purpose, and also how do you develop further? How do you further develop your tool in the end? But maybe, Marc, do you have something that you want to add to that question? What's a good certification, or if that's the question to be asked?
Yeah, well, just to add, and I guess that's always a question: what is the right certification if you're working in a project environment, and as well, knowing into a project economy. So the classic certifications will still remain. That will be the basis. That will be your foundation, like the PMP certification. That's the basis. But what we said as well, the world is changing so fast that you have to adapt your knowledge on specific pieces in your environment. So is your company going into any change with artificial intelligence, for instance, or going into robotics with a full and heavy automation, or with an intelligent automation? Then for sure you need to adapt that knowledge with a so-called nano certification, a very small piece of certification in a very fast time frame. So that's really important, to really adapt that knowledge very fast, but not in the full theory. I guess that's really important. You do have to do your PhD in it. It's more like get a general understanding and build up your own knowledge on it. And maybe there's one further question which came on, and I will start with that, and then we'll hand over to Adrian. The question from Joshua: other than technology companies, so which other industries do you observe and vision rapid adoption of these technologies in the coming years? So I can say all the industries. All industries are affected with those essential 8 technologies. So if we look into the retail sector, and you can see it, the classic cashiers going away in the supermarket. The whole piece or part of blockchain following specific goods on your retail store, you can really follow from the origin, so what you are buying. As well, if you look to the big pressure on the automotive industry, like Internet of Things, bringing 5G technology into your car, into your vehicle, that's all coming on. And as well, logistics, as I said in the beginning, the drones, they will deliver in the future the postal and as well goods That will come. That's not like science fiction. That's already real. Or if we look into oil and gas as well, to get more efficient on really mining, all those areas are affected by all those technology. It's not only technology companies. They are more preparing the other companies and bringing the right technologies. Adrian, do you want to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, most of what you said, I don't have much to add. I just think the point that I want to make is, and I think that's also where the question, also a bit more where the question of Joshua is going, regarding rapid or the speed of the adoption of these technology, at least maybe my interpretation. And I think that because of the stage where these essential 8 that we just talked about, where they're not, if you think of the any kind of hype cycle, they're not in the beginning of being very, very emerging technologies. They're essential technologies. So there is, let's say, for every industry, for every organization, there is something that is relevant for them and that they should definitely look at if they have not. Because if they don't, a competitor of them will have a look at how either one of those technologies might benefit them and disrupt the business model of their competitors. And there is another question from Marco. There are many interesting and useful things to learn, but often not enough time to study. How would you prioritize the essential 8? And what would you suggest to do in order to maximize the exploring, adapt, apply, spending the least time possible? That's a very good question. Yes, so I think the key again is to focus on where is your organization going? Where do you see, first and foremost, where do you see the most potential of being affected by the by change or by an implementation? But also, I mean, also what's your interest? Which technology, which change is kind of piquing your interest, and where do you think you could help also your organization with that? And spending the time, as I mentioned before, I think these nano certifications, they're quite a good way to cram a decent, a sufficient amount of information into a topic so that you have an understanding and you are able to further, you're able to talk on an understanding level with engineers or with other people that are in this industry or relevant in there. Sorry. Marc, maybe you have something to add on that?
Yeah, maybe I'm very straight on those 8 technologies. And for me, the best 3 are artificial intelligence. And I talked a lot about that topic. I already started with that topic in 21 with my study. So therefore, it's always a personal interest into that technology, and as well how you can adapt it in your daily work. So as well, like robotics, Internet of Things, that are those technologies where I am going in very much into detail, because that's what my clients as well looking into it. And just to go to that one question about not finding time or not having the time or not setting the right priority, I guess that's on both sides. That's on your own responsibility to really get the time in your agenda, to upskill yourself. And what we said, it's not like studying, not having a PhD into it, but more like having smaller pieces of knowledge blocks to really get it in. So like having a half an hour on a specific topic, then maybe one week later get the next half an hour. But as well, what I said, it's as well the responsibility of the organization. Like we in PwC, we have now 300,000 people working for us globally, and we push that Tomorrow program to all employees, from a partner level into the consultant level, and everyone has to go through. So it's on both sides. So you need to pull and push, and as well as I said, for all the further interest that needs to be on your personal side. So I do not see any further questions. So if you have further questions, please put them into the chat, into the Q&A. If we do not get any further questions, then I will hand over to Aristides.
Hey, Adrian, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, I think there is one question with what is nano certification?
Sure. Yeah. As nano certification basically is the, let's say, the marketing name that in this example Udacity gives to their degree programs. But as I said, it's not the same as a bachelor's or a master's, or like a kind of university degree. But the setup in Udacity is that you learn these, or that you study for these nano certifications. Nano because they're small, they're kind of, you have usually you have videos that you watch, and then you have to perform some kind of project work to show to an examiner that you actually understood what the topic was on. And the topic, or the nano, comes actually from just the small size, because it's not, you don't need to go to a year or 2 years or even 3 years. You don't need to go that long time frame to university in order to get a certification. For instance, I think my AI product management nano certification took me 3 months about. Sounds like a lot, but it's also a question of how much time that you have available to put into, and it's more on that time frame. So it's something that you can do in a fast way, or supposed to do in a fast way. Yeah. We also had a comment from Giovanni. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He tried subscribing to specialized magazines with well-curated articles. That's definitely a good recommendation. And I can only recommend that you do as well. If there are specialized magazines that you are interested in, that's probably a good idea to read those articles there. Maybe on that note, we have also written a white paper on the topic, and if there are further questions, also please do not hesitate to contact us, also over LinkedIn or by the contact details that we put in the slides. I just see that there has been another question that I'm going to read right now from Ray. This sounds a little dystopian from a psychological perspective. Any advice how to approach this brave new world? Marc, do you want to take that?
Yes, I can start. So what I said in the beginning, it will be an agile world, and you will have the permission to learn, and as well will have the permission to fail. And my advice is to go into that world. Do not have any fears, because every knowledge you have will bring you forward. And I guess that's really important as well. It's not only the new knowledge, it's as well the knowledge you have gained over the time in your industry, in your area, in your organization. And that combined with the new knowledge, that will make the difference. And as I said, no fear, go into that world. If you not doing that and stopping to adapting to it, then it will be very difficult to really have a relevance in that world.
Maybe just very briefly, I think, as I mentioned a few times, I believe that project managers, as drivers of change and as change makers in organizations, you're already in a way that you are confronted with this mindset of developing something further or creating something new. I don't believe that for project managers this is really a dystopia. I think it's more everyone else that needs to catch up to the way that project managers are already behaving. I think the key thing here is more like the four worlds and the essential aids and how they play together. I see another question from Joshua. How do you see these technologies influence regulatory policies? Unless regulatory policies evolve, these technologies may only have limited transformative impact to industries like pharma, where drug vaccine development take a long time, and hence the need to upskill. Marc, we want to take this one.
I can take it. And Joscha, that's a very good question or statement, because that's the biggest barriers on those new technologies. That's number one, that's data protection, data privacy, and well, on the health perspective, that combination. So I guess those technologies like blockchain, that can help on the regulatory policies to be compliant on it. But as well, if we are starting to automate and having artificial intelligence in it, we have to control it at the end. So it doesn't have to be go into that direction that the technology is controlling us. So that's a really important piece. So for sure, we will see that we can speed up processes, but at the end, quality counts and needs to be implemented. And as well, we can see it with COVID-19 medicine or the vaccine which is coming up. You can really fasten up that process, but at the end, you need to have those tests ready. And as well, you can't really overcome those policies and regulations when health and as well when societal statements and societal agreements will be affected.
Thank you. Now I think handing over to Aristides. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Adrian and Marc, for this very interesting presentation. And also I would like to thank all the participants for their questions that they brought up. So if you have more questions, please reach out to Marc and Adrian also after the event. So this event, it had the people that you saw, so myself, Adrian and Marc, but also the more volunteers that are behind the scenes. So Prasant, Isatu and Pia from the virtual team, virtual events team, which are supporting us to make these events happen. So our next events, so let's are learning to unlearn, and just in a few days from now, and giving up control for better results. And then in January, we have a presentation, I believe, from Martin Hari, a person from the sixth group and very experienced, one of the very, very few certified program managers from PMI in Switzerland, who will talk to us about traditional Gantt chart or agile spirits to plan your project and why not using both. And we also have one on-site event, as long as the circumstances allow, in April, a project manager masterclass to build your own personal brand. So let's move on to our feedback form. So we would like to have your feedback of how you found this event. So as soon as you receive the slides, please take 5 minutes to give us your feedback. And also you will receive the PDU claim code so that in the CRSS system you can claim a PDU for your certification of PMI. I would like to thank you all once again for your participation, and yeah, you'll receive the video and the slides as well as contact details from Mark and Adrian in a few days from us. Thank you very much.